Hey everybody, I'm back with another video for you today. In this video, I'm just going to show you guys how to create seamless patterns for those of you guys who are interested in creating like some kind of a pattern library, or if you want to make texture patterns for custom brushes and stuff. This is the way to do it. Because sometimes when you create a custom brush and you import like a texture into Photoshop, it's not going to look seamless. You're going to end up repeating the pattern, and there's going to be like a weird break in between. But yeah, I'll show you guys how to create like a seamless pattern so that you could create your own, save it as a stamp tool, like I said earlier, as a brush texture and what have you, and you can utilize it whenever you guys need it to. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is to create a brand new document. So I'll go to File, New. Now the important thing here is to keep the size in mind. Now in order to do this, we have to use the pixel sizing, which is right here. You go to pixels instead of inches, like if you guys have it on default by inches. And this one, I'll keep it at 800 by 800. I'll keep it at an even, easy number to understand, because I'll show you guys in a little bit. I'll keep it at 300 resolution, and then create. Alright, so we have a square document here, 800 by 800 pixel, and I'm just going to be using some stuff that I find online, some clip art that I find. Let me see if I can find one here. Let's use Pikachu here as an example. Alright, so I just basically just imported it from Google Images here. And when you import it, it will create a brand new layer. But the thing about this layer is that sometimes it's going to be a PNG file, which is going to have a transparent background. However, this one right here looks like a JPEG, because you can see like the white background on it. So what we want to do is to click on the magic wand tool here. You can either just manually use the magic wand tool and click on the white areas to delete, or we could try select subject up in the options bar here. And that will automatically select the areas around the subject, like the AI or algorithm in Photoshop pretty much just focuses on like a value, which is the white one. It's going to try to crop that out, or it will detect the figure itself. So it selects the white area here, and let's just delete it. As you can see, it deleted Pikachu itself. So we want to go back and click Shift Command I to inverse the selection. That's Shift Command I for the Mac, or Shift Control I for the PC, and just delete it. So we have Pikachu now. Sometimes it's not going to be perfect, because sometimes the image is going to be low quality, and then sometimes like it doesn't actually select the whole thing. But you can always clean it up. But for the purpose of this demo, we'll just keep it the way it is. Let me look for other clip arts that I could use here. You don't have to download stuff off the internet. You could actually just choose any one that you want. You could use your own illustrations. You could actually like just custom draw stuff on here. Oh, this one's fun. I have one of Plankton from SpongeBob. First, it's not gonna let me import it unless I check it to basically say okay to the stuff that we did to Pikachu here. We have Plankton. I'm going to do the same thing. Now, if you can see, it uploaded it as a separate document. Good thing about this is that these are all high quality images. Again, sometimes you're going to run into like low quality ones. So you could test it out, because if you get a low quality one, it's going to appear really, really small. And if you have a low quality because you have a high quality document, and you try to stretch it out, it's going to look really blurry. Okay, so again, choose the magic wand tool. You can select the subject, or just actually manually click. If you manually do this, hold down on Shift so you could add on. And you're going to notice a plus sign on the magic wand tool here. To deselect, hold down on Option for the Mac or Alt for the PC to deselect the areas that you don't want to be included. All I have to do is click Delete. Now the difference here is that we manually selected the white areas as opposed to select subject right here. It will find the object itself, or the figure, which is Pikachu earlier. As opposed to us manually doing it, we're actually clicking on the white area, so we did not need to inverse the selection. Hit Command D to deselect, or Control D to deselect on the PC. And now you can move it around. So let me hit Command T for the Mac or Control T for the PC to just manually move him around in areas where I want the pattern to kind of look like the whole pattern itself. Alright, so let me take a couple more images and just place them around the document here. I'm just taking a bunch of random images that I find here. Let's see, a star. Oops, press OK on it. Oh, you have auto select, so make sure to unclick that. Sometimes you have auto select selected. Oh, what's not happening here? There you go. Something happened there. So here, I'm actually uploading an image that's already a PNG file. You can tell it's a PNG file online if you find images online. It's because it's going to have the checkerboard pattern, much like what we see here. So once I upload it, it already has a transparent background. There's no white canvas attached to it. You can simply search online. Just type in stars with PNG stars or vector art, no background. Just search using keywords. Here's another one. Kind of a random collection here with Pikachu, Plankton, and a couple of colored stars here. Alright, so let me rearrange that. Like I said earlier, if you use the Move tool like this, you're going to notice that sometimes you have Auto Select selected here in the options bar. If you have it selected, you could just click on any item or object in the document, and it will auto select the layers that they are in. It's great if you have a lot of layers and it's hard to kind of search through all the layers that you have here. But on the other side of that, if you accidentally click on this, it's going to just auto click it and you're selecting that layer already whilst you are working on another layer, so it could get a little bit annoying sometimes. So make sure you pay attention to the auto select box right over here. I usually have this not selected so that I can just manually look for the layers here on the layers panel. But it's a useful tool if you have just a ton of objects floating around in different layers. Okay, so next what I want to do again is I'm going to move things around so it fits in the area. While I'm doing that, I can rotate things under free transform. Obviously, I should have just chosen SpongeBob instead of Pikachu, but you know what? It's all good. So I could get like a theme going here. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is to flatten the whole thing by holding down on Shift. First, clicking on one layer, hold down on Shift, and then click on the last layer, continuous layer, or you can hold down on Command or Control. Command for the Mac or Control for the PC, and select things individually out of sequence. So you have two options, hold down Shift or hold down Command or Alt. Next, we'll hit Command E for the Mac or Control E for the PC to merge everything together to have one flat layer. No, not flat, but one transparent layer with all the layers merged together. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is then make sure we highlight that layer and then go to Filter, Other, then let's click on Offset. Now, this is where it was really important to understand the pixels we had 800 by 800 pixels. So what we want to do is divide that by half. So half of 800 is 400, so let's go to 400 pixels by 400 pixels. So now it divides it and kind of cuts it into 4 squares and sort of just place them in equal parts, in like opposite ends. And then press OK. So now, again, that's why it's really important to understand, like when you create a brand new document, you remember what you set it to. Easiest thing to do is just set it to like an even number, like 100 by 100, 200, 200, because it's easier to cut that in half. Okay, so now that you did that, you're going to have like an empty space here. So what we want to do is to populate the areas, because now if you create this into a seamless pattern, all of these guys are going to attach. Actually, let's double check on that. So let's start that all over again just to make sure. And something that I kind of forgot to do, because I kind of noticed, like if you go back here, there's a little bit of an extra space here for some reason. That means there was something hanging over that initial 800 by 800. You can always double check your canvas size. Like go to image size or canvas size. If we see this right here, oh, actually not here. We want to go to image size. So image size, or Shift Command I or Shift Control I. And you can see like the inches are the same, 2.667 by 2.667. Or you could click on pixels and it should show 800 by 800. So press OK. So what we want to do here, just to make sure, I kind of like to do that before it kind of messes up the pattern, is hit Command A for the Mac or Control A for the PC. And that will select the whole thing, or it should select the whole thing. There you go. So Command A for the Mac or Control A for the PC will select the whole document. And what I like to do is Command X for the Mac or Control X for the PC. And then I'm going to paste it in place. So Command V for the Mac or Control V for the PC, or Shift Control V for the PC, or Shift Command V for the Mac. So I'm pasting it back in place, and if I hit transform, this should all be good. Alright, so now we're back to the way it was. That's just, you don't have to do it, but sometimes it's good just in case you have some kind of a floating pixel elsewhere. Alright, so let's go back to Filter, Other, Offset. It was set to 400 by 400, so that should be good. And press OK. So now when we click on the Move tool or the Free Transform tool, you'll see that the bounding box and that stays all the way like around the corner, the whole thing, rather than outside of it. Meaning that we got everything that we needed to do and we offset what we needed to do. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is populate the other areas that I want to populate, but leaving the cutoff areas behind, because those are the ones that's going to connect. So what I'm going to do now is look for more images. Let's see. Here I have a PNG, a Bluey, pretty large. I'm going to size him, make him in the middle. Her, right? Bluey's a girl. Other. I'm just throwing a bunch of images in here. Again, careful not to place anything that will get cut off, because that's the one that the edges are the one that's going to connect together. And I can also simply just use my brush. Oh, maybe I'll do something else for this one. Maybe a blue star. Or a seafoam colored star. Okay. Oh, let me just add a couple more things. kind of a wacky pattern we're creating here, but hopefully it'll all come together pretty good. All right, so now we'll just merge everything together. And then what we want to do now is create a pattern out of this. So let's hit Command A for the Mac or Control A for the PC once again to create a selection all around the document. And then go to Edit, Define Pattern. Let's name this pattern Weird Pattern, or whatever name you guys want to name your new pattern, and then press OK. And now let's go to Windows. Let's open up the Patterns window here, or panel, and we're going to find our new pattern here. Okay, so now that we have a pattern, all we have to do is go to our layers here. Well, you could use it and use the pattern any type of way that you want. You could apply it to a custom brush, a custom stamp tool, or you could just apply it to the layer itself directly. To do that, make sure that you have the layer selected like this, and then just click on it. Now we have our pattern. But the great thing about the newer versions of Photoshop is that you can edit that pattern by going back to the layers, and you can see here that it turned into a mask. But all you have to do is click on the layer itself with the adjustment here, double click on that, and then the pattern fill window will show up. Here you can change the angle a bit, you can scale it down. So right now it's set to 100 the way it was before. So we could go larger, or to show the seamless pattern, let's go down in scale. Now you can see before, going back to 100, you can see that Pikachu was cut off on all four corners, because remember, it divides it in four and then splits it off to different sides, adjacent sides, so that it could create a seamless pattern put together. So if we lower the scale, you can now see that Pikachu is whole again. And that creates a very seamless pattern. So this is great if you guys want to add a pattern to your illustrations, like a wallpaper, or if you want to create a seamless texture brush, and all that good stuff. And also, you can make money off of it. Create custom patterns, sell it on, Shopify or Etsy or wherever you guys want. Create little packs. It's kind of what I did earlier when I used to have an Etsy back in college, like in 2012. I used to sell like patterns on Etsy, along with like illustrations and greeting cards and stuff, which was really fun. I kind of looking to go back to that, but make money off of your artwork. You can even sell rights to it and all that stuff. So you can do so much things in Photoshop, and this is a great way to just create an extra thing that you guys want to do with patterns and stuff. So yeah, hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully you guys get to making some patterns on your own and integrate them into your work. Hope maybe for the next project or even the very last project for the semester. All right, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you guys how to do that. And please play around with it, have fun with it, and if you want, share them, share what you guys made to the class. All right, thanks so much. See you guys in the next video.